here we are on our classic cushion part 2. We've got to the stage where we've done the fast pieced half square triangles to make the pinwheel blocks, and I was just pressing them. So I've pressed them all towards the dark fabric. I've joined one here, but I'm going to talk you through this one. So you just flip it over like so, push the seams together. Even though they're on a diagonal, they'll still come together, look, see that? And then we're going to stitch down there 1/4 inch. Nice accurate 1/4 inch. It's easy when you're making pinwheels, well I find, to get distracted with the actual shape and the pinwheel. So you need to think a little bit about keeping your eye on your seam allowance. Now what we've done here, I'm going to press the seams open, which is slightly different to maybe normal. So if you do it with your finger, press it like so. See that?
Yeah.
It helps this give it a start, because once you push it under the iron, which I'm going to do now, you know, it's quite a big iron to get in there and open it out. So I usually start it off with my fingers. So as you can see from the other one as well, I've pressed it open. This just tries to alleviate the amount of bulk in the centre part of the pinwheel. So like so, flip them over. Now we're going to join that row. That's the final section of the pinwheel. This is exactly the same process, whatever size squares you start with. A pinwheel is a pinwheel. I like them. They fill in spaces nicely and they give a lot of interest. Especially if you use print fabrics, you can use bigger contrasts, all sorts. But I do like them. Away we go. And again, we're going to open up the seam like so. Start it off with my fingers. Yeah.
Yep, fine.
And press it open. So again, quite awkward to keep it pressed open and let Mark see exactly what I'm doing and not burn my fingers. Yeah. You'll be doing it in a much more relaxed way at home. So there we've got one pinwheel block absolutely complete. Okay. You have to make 7 of these in total, different fabric combinations. So once you've got them, you join them into a strip of 3. It's going to go there in my little...
You've got the middle one there, is a different fabric. Do you have to have that, or can it just be all the same?
Well, you've got 4 different fabrics in these pinwheels. Mm-hmm. The one that goes in the corner, I'll put these down here, that's a 4, that's my 4 strip. So there's 1 of these, like that. Then there's 2 of these, 2 of these and 2 of these.
Oh, okay, so you can mix and match.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
So you can put them this way so that you've got the same ones on the outside, anything you want really. So that all we do then, once we've made this block, is join them together. So I'm going to talk about this block now, which although it looks a lot more complex than your pinwheel, it really isn't. Drop me prop. Do you stay there a minute, Mark? I'm just going to pick this up.
It's all right, you're not in shot.
Good.
Just looking at some white card.
Great.
There you go.
There we go. So what I've done, I've sectioned off 1/4 of the block so you can see exactly what's happening. So this is 1/4, this is the other, just happens to be in a different fabric. So we're going to deal with this one here. Same picture is in the pattern, so don't worry about that. And don't forget, you can stop and start me on the video. or stop me if I'm getting on your nerves. So this is made up of half square triangle units again. So that is 1. That is another. Then we've got 3 squares, whole squares. When you look at the pieces that make up each section, here, you've got 2 little squares, 1.5 inch, 1, 2.5, and these are 1 7/8 and 2 7/8. We've got to make half square triangles from these 2 units, not this one. And it is easy to, you think, oh yeah, I've got this, and you whip along another one. I know somebody has already used the wrong squares, so just take your time. Doesn't matter, easily done, don't worry about it. Obviously we replaced her fabric and I'm sure she's got a gorgeous cushion by now. So these are the 2 we're going to use. Tells you the measurements in the pattern, so just double check that you've got them. You're going to draw your diagonal line across the back on the wrong side, the same as your pinwheels, and these transfer into these little numbers here. So these two come from there, and these two come from here. Then we've got the whole pieces left. So we'll put these on first because they're the cutest. So that goes there. I'm putting them over the top of what my made block, so it is really clear to you what you're doing. So like that, and like that. And then our whole pieces go in there like so. So it doesn't look at its best yet because it's a little bit raggedy. So we're going to join. As always, you need to make things into a uniform shape. And you've got here 3 squares and you've got 4 little ones. So you need to make these the same size as this. So we're going to pick that up like so, and we're going to stitch it down there, 1/4 inch seam. So nice 1/4 inch seam, keeping it nice and accurate. Then we need to press this towards the solid fabric. So where do you want me, Mark? You like me here better?
That's better, yeah.
You like more light, but not much room for my hands. So we've got this full piece of fabric, no seams. So we're going to press towards that full piece of fabric, like so. Pop it back where you've had it from, just so you can see it. Do the same with the next one. Pick it up, bring it to your machine. Make sure they're in line. That's what I'm doing now. Make sure they're like nice and square with each other. I wouldn't do too much chain piecing with this. Like if you know what you're doing with a chain piecing, you can press towards the solid piece of fabric. Only because you want to keep you've got to keep your fabrics in the right place, and you've got to keep your right size with right size. And if you start chain piecing, it's easy to like do the wrong thing. So pick these up. I'm going to come to there now. I'm going to join them together, and you're going to click that seam in the centre because you've pressed it opposite each other. So this one nearest me is going that way, the bottom one that way. Then when you join them together like so, you end up with a nice seam in the centre like that. See? So you can put a pin in if you want to. You can tack it or keep your thumb on it, and it's up to you. If you're not very experienced, you might like to, you know, just put a little tacking stitch in it if you want to. I don't like pins, especially on something this size. They sort of get in the way all the time, and you don't stitch over them because you'll break your sewing machine needle. So that's not a good process to do when you've used half your packet up. So go to your iron and press away from you like so. No ironing, no, remember? Press away from you. Put this back in position on your table.
Block?
But they won't have a block.
Nearly.
I'm lucky enough to have one I made earlier. So we're now going to join that seam to that seam and that seam to that seam, and then we're going to join these together. So do you think they need to see me do that, Mark? I don't think so. Oh. I'll do one, shall I?
Do one.
Do one. I can do them all if you want me to.
That one's sufficient, I think.
Straight seams. Processes are written in the pattern, so it's not nothing you've got to remember. If you've got any questions, you're not sure about anything, drop me an email and I will answer it to the best of my ability. So that goes back to there, and these points are coming together, you see, when you join them. Pop that onto there.
So yeah, I can do the other one now.
I'll just do it now. See, I've got in the flow there.
Yay.
I'm going to do it.
In the zoom.
In the zoom. In the
Zooming along.
Scary.
Oh.
Oh, what?
You're pressing first. I was at the wrong place.
Like so. That goes onto there. I'm not going to sew this seam. And then you flip that over and stitch that seam, and then you have something that looks like that. When you've got all 4, join them together. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you've got straight pieces of border that are cut ready for you. It doesn't matter which one you put on first. I put the shortest one on first on the top, and then the longer one down the side. This is just a little offset block. I think it makes it interesting. And then you're going to put that onto there. Pinwheels on the bottom, followed by your wider border strips. Everything in the pattern tells you exactly how to finish it off, which we will do in a separate little tutorial. It's just that we can't fit everything in. I'd be here forever if I wanted to say everything I needed to say. If you have a little look at the cushion mark, you'll see it's a nice, plump, gorgeous cushion. Yours will look exactly like that, and your box will be empty because there'll be nothing left. If there's anything left, you're in trouble. You'll notice the plumpness of the cushion, and I know I go on about this, and but you need a nice, gorgeous, plump duck feather cushion pad. If you're allergic to it, then you don't. You need a foamy one, but they do give the best look in a cushion. This is a 16-inch cushion pad in a 16-inch cushion patchwork piece. They are available on our website if you want one, but they really are really good quality. It's from a proper upholstery company. We have them, isn't it, Mark?
Yes.
So I hope you've enjoyed the process of the first project and look forward to seeing you next month. Thank you.